I'm excited to be here with you guys. I don't know about you. I don't know where you live. I don't know where you are. Maybe you should put that in the chat. Like, where are you? Because it is cold in Maryland. And one of the things I love about living in Maryland is that you get the 4 degrees. However, it's not extreme in any way. But this morning, when I woke up and I had to go to some physical therapy because of my shoulder, it was 20 degrees. 20 degrees. Craziness. But guess what? Okay, so there's been a lot of travel. And I've told you it's a lot of travel. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody because I really did a staycation. Like, I've heard people talk about a staycation, but I really took a staycation. And I'll tell you how I came to that conclusion, which was yesterday, was because the entire time for Thanksgiving, which is for us, is literally a 10-day holiday, I was present with my family. I did stories because it was fun but I didn't. If you missed me on my post, that's exactly why, because I didn't. I really was present, and it was such a gift. You guys, they come in starting the Friday before Thanksgiving, and the last one left yesterday. I know. But when I tell you it was joy and it was fun, it was fabulous. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you, in these 8 countries that I visited in the last 12 months, the last country I was in was Panama. And I'm going to connect this for you. Oh, shoot. If this is your first time with me, my name is Gloria Mayfield Banks. And you can find me on gloriamayfieldbanks.com. And you can believe I'm going to give you some vitamin G. Like, for real, some vitamin G. So, yeah, I can see your comments. That is good. That's good. Okay, so I want to tell you this. Panama and comparison. I wanted to talk to y'all today because I really wanted to make sure you knew that I heard this statement. You probably heard it before, but I heard it about 2 years ago. It said, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. So I started thinking about that. And yesterday I was like, no, it's not always the thief of joy. Comparison in many ways can elevate you a lot, very positively. Outstanding. Okay, so, Gloria, what are you talking about? Okay, so first, because it's so cold outside, that's why I have on this jacket, a shirt, and another shirt. Can you see it? In my own house. I know, but it's cold. So I just wanted to make sure that I explained as to why I was so cold. Because I got the heat turned up, but I really wanted to say, I wanted to get to this. Because here's what I want to tell you. People used to tell me all the time, don't be so competitive. Learn to collaborate. Don't be competitive. Learn to collaborate. Don't be competitive. Competition is negative. Competition is not negative. Maybe I'll make that on another day. A message to you guys on that another day. Let me just say that to you. But in my mind, competition has been a driving force for me because I really believe I used it correctly and I learned how to use it correctly. Same with comparison. You can learn how to use it positively. Okay, so social media is all over us. TV is all over us. Girlfriends are all over us. Family members asking us questions. I know for a fact after Thanksgiving, there have been some thoughts that have been placed in your head by your friends or your family that makes you like, But I want to tell you this. The reason I bring Panama in is because we went to the Panama Canal. And if you don't know the history behind one of the most powerful man-made inventions that's changed so much of our lives that we don't even know about it. Most of us don't know about how it cut the cost of shipping and how we can move things faster and how it's changed the whole dynamics of transportation and distribution, which is a huge part of the cost of anything we do. But anyway, they tried to start to build the Panama Canal, which is now called the Panama, in the 1500s. but they couldn't get it done. So, you know, I'm starting my little camera here. I have to do this. Okay. The Panama Canal was started in the 1500. They had major issues. Then it was started again in the 1600 and the 1700. They had major problems with health. They had mosquitoes that it took 2 years to get rid of these mosquitoes that was infected everybody. France took over the project and lost 20,000 people trying to build the canal. Like, stay with me. And then one person, I don't know what country he was from, but he got there, and it might have been American, I'm not sure. But what he did was he created a philosophy that said, I'm not going to go against the waters. I'm going to flow with the waters. I'm going to flow with the waters. Okay, so his ability to flow caused him to solve the problem. He took the water from the oceans and from all that's around. I don't want to get caught up in calling it the right waterways or the wrong waterways, but the bottom line is he created an invention called the Panama Canal that went with the flow of the waters when all the other engineers and inventors were trying to figure out how to build it against the grain. So I want you to think about that for a second. And I want to tell you why comparison is now going to be one of your best friends. So when you're flipping and you're strolling and you're talking and you're listening and you're watching, that here's some gifts that you can give to yourself that will strengthen you because of comparison. Okay, so Gloria Mayfield Banks, I'm a record breaker. I'm someone who's, I don't know, I just like to find a record and I like to break a record. And one of the major reasons I like to do that is because I know that anybody that participates with me when I do that gets to a higher level. I'm all about how to build teams, how to build strong teams, how to get the same team to go in the same direction, and how to win when you have teams. So let me tell you this. One thing I know for sure is that when you compare yourself, you learn a clarity of your goals. Let's say that you were going after something and you really, you knew you wanted to go in that direction, but then you had a conversation with someone who was really fierce on where they were going, how they were going to get there. The strategy was clear. Because you started to compare yourself to what they were doing, to what they were thinking, to what they were saying, you gained clarity. Clarity came because of the comparison. What about inspiration for growth? You will be inspired to grow more because of what you see other people do. Like for me, when I walked into my entrepreneurial direct selling opportunity with Mary Kay Cosmetics, I had no clue what was available to me. I just didn't. I just wanted to make $200 extra a week to keep my kids in daycare. I was getting ready to go through a divorce. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew I needed more. I knew I was a very well-paid executive, but I knew I deserved more. And part of that deserving was because I saw other people have more. I remember after I started my business and I had to live in, it was really powerful because my live-in changed my life because I saw my girlfriend who had a live-in. But then someone that was working with me saw my live-in, and so she got a live-in, and it changed her life. It turns her into a better mom, a better wife, a better contributor to the community, a better entrepreneur. It reduced her stress, but because she saw. Now, you might not see that as comparison, but I saw it as comparison, and it gave me an ability to teach other people how to grow by showing myself. Some people are like, I don't want people to know my business, but sometimes people getting ready to know your business inspires their life choices. Put down the word choices for a second. Think about the word choices when you're in comparison. Because when you compare, you learn to appreciate your wins. Like for me, okay, my mother-in-law, she lives here with us. She's going to be 95 in February. 95 in February. So she was saying to me, oh, we're leaving today. I'm going to go to the doctor again. I said, you are? That's awesome. She's like, oh, it's doctors 3 days in a row, and I'm exhausted. Exhausted? Let me just tell you something. I just came back from Panama, and I was with the indigenous people. Indigenous. I know I'm not saying it right, but you know what I mean. They don't have any doctors. They don't have any options. They don't have any washer and dryers. They hardly have electricity. They got cell phones, but they don't have hardly anything we have. You could go to whatever doctor you want to go to at whatever time you want to go to. I left that room smiling. I am appreciating what we have because of comparison to what somebody else doesn't have. Comparing can increase your appreciation because of the choices you get to make and the choices you get to see other people not make. It gives you awareness of the opportunities. There's so many opportunities. Sometimes you can get overwhelmed by the opportunities, but other times you can bask in the fact that you get to choose different opportunities. I got to choose if I wanted to get my hustle on or choose to live a different means because of my income limits. But I get to choose whether I want to make more. I get to choose whether I want to hustle or not. I get to choose whether I want to become phenomenal at sales. I get to choose whether I want to increase my belief. There's an awareness that comes. When I see what other people can do, what other choices they've had. I remember I had a girlfriend. It was profound when she told me this story. And I know a lot of people want to tell their story. So she told me this story about how she took her family to Italy. Her husband, herself, her brother-in-law, all her kids' girlfriends and boyfriends, everybody went to Italy. I was like, comparison. I was taking my kids to Hilton Head. Comparison. And then when my granddaughter graduated from high school, I told her, let's go to Japan. We didn't end up going to Japan because we found that it was the cold season and neither one of us wanted to be anywhere where it was cold. So we ended up going to Puerto Rico and having a fabulous time with her best friend, and me. But my point is because I chose to compare, I chose to see other opportunities that I would not have seen otherwise. And it made a difference for me. It made a difference for my family. And then comparison can also give you a framework for learning. Okay, so talk about framework. I'm so excited. I am doing something called 14 Days Super Bad Power Boost. 14 Days Super Bad Power Boost, and I'm starting it on December 9th, right here on social media. I'm going to be talking about a framework of different things that you can immediately start doing that will change different things in your life, take you to a higher level. I'm just talking about pouring out my wisdom. I'm talking about pouring out my experience. I'm talking about my perspective. I'm talking about my point of view. I'm talking about where I've been, you guys, where I'm going, why I do it the way that I do. Hey, it might help you. It might not, but I promise you this, you'll learn something. You'll learn what to do or what not to do. But on December 9th, right here, I'm coming to you and giving you 14 days of super bad power boost. Now, if you find me on GloriaMayfieldBanks.com, you will understand why I talk about super bad all day long. Why being super bad is such a big deal for me and why I know it's choices. Okay, so this morning I woke up and I said, okay, I got like 30, 31 days till January 6th, which right now could change. Right now is my next flight. And there's certain things I want to achieve by that time. So, you know, that book, Atomic Habits, when it talked about not necessarily the goals, but the systems you have in place, I ask you to look at your systems, see what you have in place. And every time you start comparing yourself to others, don't let it flow into your mind that comparison is a thief of joy. use comparison as an elevator to elevate you, to give you the gifts to increase your strength. Because we are not going against the grain. We are going to figure out how to flow. And when you flow, you become even more super bad all day long. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you later. Leave me comments. I'm going to read them. I'm going to answer you back.